when she comes to mind. Kim Jong-un has previously said that he understands the need and the ability and the utility of the United States and the Republic of Korea continuing its joint exercises. These exercises are legal. They're planned well in advance. So, yeah, I mean, it is kind of weird because on the one hand, you have the U.S. They say, okay, are you okay with this continuing military exercises? North Korea says yes. And then they do a military exercise again like they say they were going to do. Which, I mean, if you take Heather Nauert's word for it, was planned well in advance. And then you got these people coming in and being like, wait a minute, we don't like it. Now we're not going to meet with you anymore. It's a tough climate to negotiate in. And I think it's something that the White House is going to be have to be very careful with because it is a damn delicate situation. That is for sure. So yeah, best luck to them on that. And obviously, the most important thing is do not give up. Whoa. Yeah, so there is that. We got, this is incredible stuff right here. Sarah, she's feminist empowerment personified. She's not necessarily a feminist, but she's feminist women empowerment personified. I mean, she has been given a lot of power. So yeah, Sarah Huckabee Sanders says, any feminist Democrat is a hypocrite for not supporting Haspel. I mean, here's the truth. There is what they're doing by not supporting Haspel, which is most Democrats. There's way more now who have unfortunately joined supporting Haspel. We talked about Mark Warner yesterday. I believe he has signed on board. I mean, if we had a gun, I'd put that to my head. Where maybe Mark Warner's head. I mean, how are you supporting Gina Haspel through this whole thing? I mean, I know the biggest deterrent for these guys, she said in her testimony, she doesn't like doing torture anymore, and she doesn't want to do it. Are you kidding me? You think I mean, you know what these people would say to get elected. They'd are put in positions of power to do more torture and help the United States do more bad on the global stage, make awful foreign policy decisions, and make sure that. So when our U.S. military comes into a place and wants to actually do something good and do goodwill with all the people there, all the Middle Eastern people or the Asian, whoever we want to help, what this is about is just not what it's about. I mean, it's also probably the world's hackiest argument. It's a blatant misunderstanding of what feminism means or what feminism actually is. It's pretty much make sure women and men are equal. Not that it's not that's pretty much you're advocating. What they're advocating for is really a women's power movement. It's black power. You've heard of white power. Now it's women's power. Women above everyone else at all costs. No, I know most Democrats don't believe that, and certainly no Republicans believe it, but they're exploiting the feminist movement right here. This is pretty much what exploitation looks like, full on, and more Democrats, especially the feminist Democrats, especially Democrats who are strong in Congress or the Senate, who really, 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 really advocate for feminism and women. I mean, this is a blatant exploitation by the White House, the CIA, and their public propaganda machine, to pretty much say that, all the Obama era, pretty much everyone who's ever worked in the State Department saying, oh, she's such a, the CIA in the past 10 years pretty much coming out and saying, oh, she's a strong-willed figure, really the past 20 years, George Bush here. So pretty much anyone who's come out over the past, however many years and said, however many weeks and said okay, she's such a strong woman. She's a great woman. That's a blatant exploitation of the feminist movement. They're pretty much saying I don't care. She's a feminist. I mean, what could be better than that? She's just a woman, so support her. She's the first woman we've ever had in the CIA, so she must be supported. Is literally the very same who have came out and said women. Who was president said, okay, I rate women on a scale of 1 to 10. Multiple women are accusing me of sexual harassment, sexual assault, whatever. the case may be. I used to sneak into little girls' changing rooms at my Miss Universe pageant to watch all these beautiful women with no clothes on. I'm just inspecting the thing. I'm just inspecting my product, pretty much what it sounded like, and before it goes off on the shelves. It's pretty much, that's what it sounded like. And yeah, also, I like to grab women by the P word. I'm not sure if I should be saying that, but you know what it is. That's the White House here that's coming out and saying, okay, support Gina Haspel just because she's a woman. Not even Hillary Clinton would say that. Not even Hillary Clinton would say, support me, I'm a woman. She even used subtle dog whistles and subtle hints at saying, support me, I'm a woman. She did not even just come out and say that, like Sarah Huckabee Sanders did in that ridiculous tweet. So, I mean, The Atlantic found also that this White House has appointed twice as many women to this administration. And it always amazes me when one of those idiot, right-wing pundits, like Benny Johnson, you probably don't even know who he is, but just people out there who work at any right-wing place saying, oh my God, look at Trump. Look at how many women Trump's appointed. Christian Nielsen, Ivanka Trump, Melania Trump. He appointed Melania. Oh, that was an immigrant woman as well. That's just the best. I mean, there's definitely, I've seen a bunch of those tweets, and they're all like, look at how many women Trump's brought in the White House, and Sarah Huckabee Sanders, super strong, badass secretary. Mercedes Schlapp, super strong, whatever the heck she does. But, I mean, there's no way not one of them put either Melania or Ivanka on the list. Yeah, so, that's the pretty much incredible thing. So someone definitely put on the Melania list, strong, proud First Lady, Melania Trump. That's pretty much how stupid they are. But, yeah. I mean, yeah, it's really pretty obvious, hypocrisy in the Trump administration claiming to support women's empowerment. In addition to the president's personal history of sexist comments and the many women who've accused him of misconduct, The Atlantic found that this White House has appointed twice as many women as men as women to the administration. So I mean, obviously, go who's the most qualified. It's just. That's the important thing. We shouldn't even be talking about the situation. And normally, when I get like this, it's mostly the Democrats to blame, but it's Donald Trump's White House, Sarah Huckabee Sanders, and more people like that who've been constantly suggesting that, okay, we need some good old-fashioned, good, true feminism here, and women's empowerment, and just support me, I'm a woman. That's what they should do. It's about qualification, not appointing a torturing criminal. You don't realize Gina Haspel should be in jail for what she did. We talked about yesterday the memo that they're suppressing that supposedly shows way more worse things that she's done. It's apparently impossible to not come away reading the memo and wanting still to confirm her. It's really bad, and the fact that this memo should not be opened should mean at least Democrats who want their support, who are thinking about giving their support, should at least put it on hold until the memo has been released. I mean, if you got John McCain, if you got Rand Paul coming out against this woman, how are you still voting for it? You really think your district is going to be like, oh, you didn't vote for Gina Haspel, I will never be able to support you again. You're just an obstructionist Democrat. I mean, if you have any mouth at all, if you have any skill, any sentient skill as a politician whatsoever, you should be able to let this roll right off your back and then slap it in whoever's campaigning against you's face. Whoever's winning the general elections, Joe Manchin. We talked about Joe Manchin yesterday. Heidi Heitkamp, because I know she's coming out against him. She's coming out for her and against the Democrats. And against common sense and morality and law and order. Just be like, okay, whoever's running against me, here's the most important thing. I'll even do the debate style microphone again. Hold on. All right, so here's the debate style microphone. Here's the thing. I would like to say that I am not for everything Donald Trump pushes blindly. I bring what I know the people of my district want me to bring to Washington, D.C., and that is integrity and that is the ability to fight for them and not just for the president. I vote my conscience. I do not vote for someone who's accused of torture on the Democratic side. What I fight for is not for people accused of torture. I fight for jobs. I fight for health care. I fight for the economy. And I fight for you. Applause, 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 applause. I mean, that's pretty much what she should be saying, minus the applause, 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 applause part. I mean, that's a very good job. That's what that is. I mean, you gotta be able to defend yourself here as a Democrat, or you should not be running. That's just it. So, yeah. Yeah, and it's in a convenient, that's the really convenient thing here. I mean, you got all those stuff going on. I mean, you get the agency's Twitter celebrating Women's History Month all of a sudden and supporting her directly. I mean, you got literally, before Haspel, female analyst involved in the hunt for Osama bin Laden were memorialized in the Zero Dark 30 movie, for which CIA gave the filmmakers very unprecedented help and access because they didn't know what they're going to do. Was essentially pretty much a puff piece. I mean, CNN called it a reworking of the War on Terror as a feminist epic. Oh, geez. I mean, an article appeared on drone strikes. Next time Obama orders a drone strike, it'll be a woman potentially killing civilians. Woohoo! That's a sign. That's how you know women have really made it. When they have the opportunity to kill civilians, potentially, just like men can do. That's incredible stuff. Yeah. So the CIA has been pushing a strong feminist narrative to movies, to media, to the press, pretty much out there for years. They've been pushing this pretty hard. 2014, it's been all the way. It's called the articles in Real Clear Politics, for example. The CIA's drone queens. It's really quite incredible. So I mean, controversies over the legality or morality of those strikes went unmentioned in this piece. It's described pretty much a sisterhood of women involved in targeting and killing campaign who drank ice lattes and baked birthday cakes for one another. Spies, they're just like us, right? The top expert on Pakistan said was said to be strikingly attractive in her stiletto heels. So attractive, the article asserts, that Barack Obama grinned and said, "You don't look like a Pakistani expert." Whoa! Barack Obama! Damn! Whoa! That's fun. Barack Obama showing his fun side there. Yeah, we love him so much. Yeah, it's pretty amazing. But then you got all this feminist narrative for the fact that they really have a strong misogynistic culture in the industry. Harassment, assault, harder to report than ever. I mean, there's literally a male-dominated world, as you can tell. I mean, it seems like it's a male-dominated world. It's a spies, really. They had a Me Too NatSec edition letter with 233 signees. So they're not perfect. They're definitely not perfect as well. Yeah, so we're going to have to take a very short break. We'll be back in a minute. Hello, everyone. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to today's show. My name is Spencer Walsh. We thank you so much for joining us here today. That a little bit of a mistake before. But anyway, we got a fun story for you. Chris Cillizza is really one of the dumbest pundits alive. He's a man with no concept of right or wrong beyond the horse race. He's literally pretty much when people say what they hate about Washington, reporter. He's over obsessed. He's obviously trying to appeal way too much to the